I saw something in the comments recently. It was a GIF or a GIF from a Charlie Brown cartoon. Now, I grew up on Charlie Brown, so I'm pretty familiar with the character and the cartoon itself. And at first, I didn't really think much about it. Charlie Brown is standing at the front door of his house, letting kids come in one by one. A kid walks in, another kid walks in, another kid walks in, and then the last kid walks up to the door. Charlie closes it right in his face. Now, a GIF only lasts a couple of seconds, and then it starts over. So I watched it again, and then again. And after a few times, I realized what the person posting it was trying to say. Because the last kid standing outside wasn't just any kid. The last kid was black. And suddenly, it wasn't just a cartoon GIF anymore. It was a message. No words, no explanation, just a message. Now, here's the thing. Normally, something like this wouldn't bother me very much. I've lived long enough to understand people like that exist. I've traveled all over the world. I've met wonderful people. I've met ignorant people. That's life. And honestly, if it had just been about me, I probably would have deleted it and moved on. But it wasn't just about me. This was one of those videos where I showed my son. And that's when I realized I wasn't looking at it through my own eyes anymore. I was looking at it through the eyes of a father. Because when you become a parent, something changes. You start thinking differently. You start looking ahead. You start wondering what kind of experiences your child might have one day, the things they'll face, the assumptions people might make about them, the situations you won't be there to protect from them. My son is part Hungarian, part American, or should I say part Black American. He's mixed. And one day, somewhere, somebody is going to make a judgment about him before they've ever spoken a word to him. Not because of his character, not because of his values, not because of anything he's done, just because of what they think they see. And the truth is, this isn't only about my son. It's about people who feel different. It's about people who sometimes feel like they don't quite fit into a box everyone expects them to fit into. Maybe it's a mixed kid. Maybe it's a Roma kid. Maybe it's a black kid. Maybe it's somebody from another country. Maybe it's somebody who simply looks different from the people around them. The details change. The feeling doesn't. Now, before anybody misunderstands me, let me be very clear. My experience in Hungary has overwhelmingly been positive. A vast majority of Hungarians I've met have been kind, welcoming, generous people. I've built friendships here. I've built relationships here. My son is Hungarian. He will be a proud Hungarian. This country has given me a lot. So this isn't about attacking Hungary. It's actually quite the opposite. I think when you care about a place, you should be willing to have honest conversations about it. And what got me thinking wasn't even the GIF itself. It was what happened after. Nothing. Nobody responded to it. Nobody challenged it. Nobody simply said, come on. Now, maybe people didn't see it. Maybe they didn't understand it. Maybe they didn't want to get involved. I don't know. And to be perfectly fair, I don't need anybody to defend me. I'm fine. I live a good life. I am comfortable with who I am. But I started thinking about somebody else. I started thinking about the kid growing up in some small Hungarian town somewhere. A teenager trying to figure out where they belong. The person who feels different every single day and doesn't have the confidence yet to brush it off. The person who doesn't have the support system. The person who doesn't have somebody telling them, they're enough. You are enough. Those are the people I think about. Because sometimes a small act of support means more than you will ever realize. Sometimes speaking up isn't about changing the person doing the wrong thing. Sometimes it's about letting somebody else know they're not standing alone. And maybe that's the real reason this stuck with me. Not because of me, because of what I represent. Because one day, my son is going to walk through this world on his own. And my job isn't to convince him the world is perfect. My job is to prepare him for the world it is. To teach him to be strong, to teach him to be kind, to teach him to respect people, to teach him to stand up for himself when he needs to, and to remind him that his worth is not determined by the opinions of people who never took the time to know him. Because every single one of us will be judged by someone at some point. The question is, whether we're willing to see each other as human beings. My name is Ray. This is Magyar Minute. The measure of a community isn't how it treats the people who fit in. It's how it treats the people who stand out.